Greetings, greetings, greetings. The intention of this video, which I think I'll give you a little explanation since this is the first video in this potential series of videos, assuming I follow through on things. We'll see what happens. But the intention is to create a webcast or a vodcast or whatever you want to call it for, allegedly for human beings like yourself to listen in on, but as the person participating in the creation of this, instead of focusing on a human audience, to focus on a non-physical audience. And by that I mean a non-physical audience of pure positive beings and in essence what this attempt is to feed off of the audience, and to do so in a way where if I focus my attention upon a non-physical audience, then what I feed off of and what comes to me and how and what I say or what I do would be much different than if I were to focus on creating something for human understanding. And so that's the general premise. How it will actually work in practice, your guess is likely as good as mine. So now that I've focused and addressed the human element here in this pilot vodcast, we'll shift my attention toward the non-physical, which I will state to me is probably just largely imaginative, or it engages other parts of the mind than observational, which is also why this might prove to be a unique little experiment, but we'll see how things turn out. And so I'll just orient myself into what may seem like an imaginary conversation or an imaginative focus, and interesting things may occur. Don't know, but so and perhaps on future podcasts I might focus exclusively on non-physical, or I might continue with this greeting format of specifically addressing those of you viewing this on YouTube and whatnot, and then from there shifting my focus. We'll see how it plays out. All right, so here goes with the focus shift. What is it that a non-physical being might enjoy viewing? What would really draw a big non-physical crowd? Well, maybe the fact that I'm merely addressing this. All right. Little human-centric at the moment. Let's go out there. I'm finding this a little difficult to sort of shed the knowing or shed the focal point of understanding that part of the intention of this video is to share it with other humans, and so that places part of my focus on how other humans might be receiving and interpreting things. You know, is this being boring? Right now I'm not saying anything, things along those lines, but it's okay because this is experimental, and if I can just share my thoughts as I go through this, I may be able to at some point achieve a very different focus, which yields a very different content, and I guess it is the capturing or the experiencing of that content, which is the experience of that content being the primary intent. the more I think about this, the more I, on a logical front, assume that I have really no idea what a non-physical audience might enjoy. But that's one take on it. The other take is that part of me is non-physical. You might refer to it as okay, I'm addressing humans. So part of me, just talking to myself here, part of me is non-physical. The larger part of me is non-physical. I'm much more non-physical than physical, as far as I am concerned. And so... my mind keeps going back to how humans might view this, or how humans might loop into this, or what I can do to potentially anchor what I'm feeling to the video so that others might also be able to pick up on it. But I think that intent is slightly off from the, what can I do to hook in more of that non-physical energy, more of that non-physical going on. Because if I can hook into that, I might be able to allow some really cool things and experience some really cool things and share those things with those who are desiring to view such things. Interesting. Well, I think I gave it a good old college try there. It's sort of an interesting thing, because what I can feel are these sensations coming through me, these sort of jolts of energy, this uplifting of my vibration, and although my understanding of it is so limited or so general that I'm not really able to transfer that into something I might be able to share peer to peer. So it's an interesting thing. I don't know if the intent of these videos is to shift things to a place where it's more like channeling or something along those lines, but I do understand that if I can connect in some way to non-physical inspiration, that what may come forth could be very inspired. And I think there's a lot of untapped potential in this arena, because it's so airy-fairy, it just doesn't... There's no real reason to create a YouTube video for non-physical beings, and yet in focusing that way, the YouTube video that is created could be unique amongst other YouTube videos. But it's sort of like creating something for an audience that, through a medium that audience doesn't really fully can't really fully appreciate. So it'd be sort of like doing stand-up comedy for the deaf, and but yet there could be some unique things created out of that. So we'll see where this goes.